Hi there, traders. This is Brad Gilbert with a weekly kickoff. It's Monday, the 19th of Feb. All right, now we've got a bit of an interesting week coming up. It's going to be a slow start. We've got the US long weekend this weekend. So really trading is going to start Tuesday, and there's no significant data out on Monday anyway. So if you're not already doing so, just kick back and relax because we've got another day to wait. Now, just having a look through this week, okay, it's pretty easy. If I just sort of scroll down here, just on trading economics, having a look at what numbers are coming out, there's it's pretty easy to sort of work out where the key theme is. And what I'm talking about is where will the focus be for most of the markets? Now, dollar CAD, we've got the inflation numbers, we've got some housing numbers here as well, and we've got the Bank of Canada official there, Gravel, whichever way you want to say it, speaking there as well. And if you scroll back down a little bit further, we've got Canadian retail sales coming out on Thursday. And that sort of pretty much connects all the economic dots for us, okay? Because we get fed all the information that we need. So that's something you look at. We've got the FOMC minutes, obviously very important to try and work out if there's any clues from the Fed as to what's going on. And that's where it takes us, right? Let the data take you where it needs to. So if I just scroll back here, just to give you a bit of a refresh, last week on Thursday, the US retail sales minus 0.8, okay? Consensus was minus 0.1. Ex autos was even minus 0.6. So we saw the dollar roll back over, right? We had the strong US inflation numbers, the dollar sort of rallying against everything, equity markets falling. Then all of a sudden we get the retail sales figures and the dollar starts to retreat. And it's a bit uncertain because you come into Friday's trading, we've got the PPI, producer price index, another inflation number, and it's slightly better, the core number and the month-on-month number there as well. So the market isn't convinced on where the US dollar is going, right? So what we're trying to do is piece together where the easiest trading opportunities are. And when the dollar is sort of just up and down, the market's not sure exactly when the Fed are going to start cutting rates. It has been sort of pushed back to mid-year. You start to get this sort of price activity, right? And we have seen a few instruments break through support trend lines, but it's not like a break of the trend. It's almost a clean out, a flush out of stale positions. Okay. And if you're looking at euro, sterling, still within recent ranges, market was very short Aussie and they have squared up, but it hasn't gone far once again. Right. So what we need, and this is where the week becomes a little bit tricky because we want clarity around what the US dollar is doing because it makes it easy to trade the majors, equity markets, and a whole range of markets for that matter. So it's interesting, right? And I'm telling you where the major focus will be is dollar CAD. Now, don't go just because dollar CAD is the focus. If that's not one of your favorite trading instruments, don't go charging in thinking it's going to be easy, right? Once again, we are looking to finesse the opportunities around where, what makes sense. Okay. So to me, I've already sort of had a quick look around dollar CAD myself, looking at the dollar or the US against the CAD on the hourly and dailies. You can see, where that strong dollar came in, we've retreated. It's sort of fair value around 134.80. Now on the daily charts, it has been sort of going up since, end of December. Okay. Does that tell us much about what's going on? Not really. Oil hasn't been sort of hugely influential. So it's like, okay, well, that doesn't sort of really sort of calm me down. And if I look at dollar CAD on the crosses, we aren't seeing too much. Aussie CAD just a little bit higher of late. Kiwi CAD's just been trading in a nice tight range. CAD yen, like the oil trade, has been following oil. That's for sure. And Euro CAD, if anything, just been drifting lower. And we've been getting a bit of topsy-turvy action there on sterling CAD and CAD Swiss, right? I was looking at this last week. It's sort of one of those things. It's been in a nice uptrend. Oil, it is going with oil as well. You'd think, well, if we get weak CAD numbers, it could be a move on the downside, but we aren't seeing much follow through on that as well. The key to it is what we have to do is we have to wait until we get back in the zone of where the numbers are, right? What are we looking at? Why are we looking at them? And is there any sort of good opportunities around that? And that's where the calendar does come into play, okay? So make sure you have a look across the board here. it's one of those weeks where you can get into a trading opportunity here because there's no really influential US numbers. Well, we've got the FOMC Tuesday. That's definitely something that could happen. The Fed's been keeping their cards close to their chest. So I can't see them telling us too much, except, you know what, probably stating the obvious. Like some of these numbers have been strong. We may not have to cut rates as aggressively and as quickly as we otherwise were looking for. So then you come back down here into Thursday. Thursday's where we start to get a few US numbers, right? The initial jobless claims, that sort of weekly number, some S&P PMI numbers, and some housing data. Okay, so hopefully that fills the gaps and tells us a bit more about what the dollar's doing. In amongst that, there may be some random news, but I don't see a lot of activity outside of the CAD, right? So what you want to be doing if you are looking at the markets, we know from last week the US Treasuries have been sort of up and down all over the place. Just keep an eye on those yields, okay? Higher US yield, higher US interest rates, stronger dollar, weaker equity markets, right? So just connect the dots there. Like at the moment, we are seeing a bit of a risk on day where US equity futures are up, Euro, Sterling, Aussie, Kiwi up, and the dollar down with the Swissy, the odd one out. Okay, so that's sort of not bad. There's basically the key theme here is nothing dramatic over the weekend. We've got some markets that are sort of behaving quite normally, and that can continue through the week. So make sure you check out what the different markets are doing, and that can confirm to you that the market is behaving well and you can get straight in. And then all you need to do from there is pretty much just overlay some of the economic numbers when they come out, see if they connect with what's happening in the market. I don't think it's an easy trade yet, but when you get closer to the events, and I'll be covering this in the daily videos, is trying to really focus in on, do we actually have an opportunity here on dollar CAD or something else, right? Just because there's no data on these other instruments doesn't mean we don't see good trading opportunities on them, because you know what? A lot of the time when the market sort of takes a breath, okay, and they're always really focused on the high impacting numbers, we can start to see where things are moving. To me, like on the face of it, if I just looked at the dollar index, I think the market got really long dollars, obviously after the US CPI numbers. It's sort of floundering at the moment, even with those slightly stronger US PPI numbers. I think the slightest bit of weakness, maybe dovishness in the FOMC or weak US numbers Thursday, we'll start to see the dollar dribble lower. The market still looks caught long, and that could be the chance for us to get involved here, because if they're long dollars, they're definitely short euro, and that could squeeze higher as well. We'll have to see how it plays out. But that's how I'm taking it, or how I see it happening, guys. Dollar CAD, bit of the focus, and let's just see how it unfolds as we go through the week. Good luck and happy trading.